Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Okay, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful like Akim, pushing this word with truth and sincerity. And Shalom to the elect. All right. Lord willing, this be a quick and edifying lesson to the willpower and spirit of Yahweh Shai. I just wanted to get into the how brother's been making videos on so-called deacon or self-called deacon. Okay, and I'm gonna title this lesson something like, what will you sell out for? All right. Now, other elders, apostles have done their lessons, and something that struck me, because I didn't get into it until I didn't watch a lesson particularly on it and listen to the portion of what actually happened. I didn't go and look at his wife's lesson, but from the video that I watched from the elder Menatazak out of South Carolina, Menatazakba, what I found interesting about it was that or ironic to say the least, was that his woman, accused him of pretty much extorting her out of 30 bands. All right. And that was significant to me because and made me do a little digging. That was 30 pieces of silver is what Judas the Iscariot sold out Yahushua for and gave him up. All right. He sold him out for 30 pieces of silver. All right. When I went into Chat GPT, I ain't put it up on the screen or nothing, but you could do the research yourself. You type it in Chat GPT, what that amount would be today. And at first, the first portion said 400 to 450, but then it went into like a scholarly breakdown, and pretty much they went into like days of pay. All right. And they said with inflation and the numbers that it gave me ranged from 20,000 to 40,000. And if you take the middle number that it would be 30,000. All right. So that 30, all right, was there. That's ironic because I'm not saying that, that demon is, is Judas, all right, today. And I'm not saying that what he did is on the same level of what Judas the Iscariot did, but nevertheless he turned his back to Yahweh Shemel Shai. All right, and he did that before with the name calling and switching it up to pretty much a Christian doctrine. All right, and the Lord is, may he continue to expose these false prophets. All right, and expose them for their evil deeds, as it says in Romans the 8th chapter, that we are to continue to mark those who cause division. All right, put this scopeo on these terrible leaders, false leaders of Israel. Okay, so I want to grab a couple of precepts, and I don't want to make it too long, but and go and drive that point in. So the title of this lesson is, what will you sell out for? Because in the time of adversity, what we're coming upon to in Jacob's trouble, the hour of temptation hits, some of you men are going to sell out for less. All right. This man sold out for a bag and some money, which that's corruptible on this side. All right. These things we can't take with us to the kingdom. All right. Our true treasure is in heaven. All right. And it's incorruptible. All right. Our eternal rulership, you can't put a price on what we're going to get. Just as these devils can't give us they can't repay us what they owe, because it's way beyond their debt ceiling. It's way beyond what they can actually afford. All right, and as the scripture said, they got to pay that back. These devils are going to pay it back in blood, and this man is no more than a hireling. All right, and that's why the scriptures say this in the book of Matthew. This is going to be the 6th chapter. And this isn't to take away from prophecy and what's going on, man, in the world. All right, and how this devil's getting ready to go full blast with this beast system, this NWO push. All right, and update to his fallen queendom. All right, with that MOTB and this war going on in West Asia. But we have to make these lessons to warn the sheep, to expose, through the willpower of Yahweh Shema Shai, so our sheep don't go astray. This is Matthew 6:24. It says, "No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve the Most High, God Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and Mammon." Okay, Mammon, it goes into money. All right, what does it say about money? Money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. All right. As you see, that 30 that I keep on calling them shekels, but the 30 pieces of silver that Judas Iscariot sold out Yahweh Shai for at the end, with all that remorse that he had. All right, we know how his ending went. All right, he committed that. He offed himself. All right, but he couldn't even pay back because he didn't even want it. The Lord put that spirit on him of deep depression. But so you can't serve this world and the powers of this world and God at the same time. What did the brother Hassad say? Man, we need to do some self-examination and step away. All right, and because you in the world with it, wisdom will not enter a malicious soul. And as you see, as these other reprobates, and fallouts come out, sellouts, apostates, because they was coming up against the word of Yahweh Shema Shai, and that's what led them here. All right, they lose the name. They start teaching crazy ass doctrine. All right, but somebody new in the truth and somebody without that full knowledge of the Lord and not being vetted, in the spirit, and just a babe in this thing, they might hear some of them say something which may be correct, and then they think that they deep and that they got it, so they start following them. All right, I'll be the first one to admit, when I first came into the truth, I was listening to that weirdo from down south. I believe his name was a War. Bert, as the apostles call him, Bert and Ernie. I thought he was on point. And he was for a time being, and then something happened through the spirit. Yahweh Shema Shai just cut me off from watching his lessons, and then his lessons weren't prominent. Same thing with Yahweh the Maccabees before he started going off and doing all that weird shit. You seen the decline in their teachings and their spirit being exposed, that they not right, man. So let's go here in Matthew chapter 27 and Let me see. (27:9), and it says, Then was fulfilled, which was spoken by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, And they took 30 pieces of silver, the price of him that was valued, whom they of the children of Israel did value. All right, and that was the price, and that was prophesied before that Yahushua would be sold out for that price. Now, that wasn't the exact scripture I wanted to grab. Now let me see if I could find it right here, where it actually said that that Judas took. Well, I'll just grab this here in verse 3. It says, Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself, and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders. All right. Saying, I have sinned in that I betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, What is that to us? They don't care. That's your problem. You did it. See thou that. Yeah, you go deal with it. And he cast down the 30 pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself. All right. And I think what I was actually looking for, I mean, the point was said in there is actually in the previous chapter. But I mean, that shows you that point too, that 30 pieces of silver. All right. We took out a deacon, because now he not teaching no more. According to Hassad, he not gonna be teaching. He got to step away. All right. You supposed to endure hardness. Let me grab this. As a good soldier, you gotta, take that humbling from Yahweh Shema Shai, exposing your ass to the world for the wicked shit that you did. But a righteous man would continue to, well, it says that in the book of Proverbs as well, that he'll get back up. All right, but he not sincere. All right, he just in it for the money. This is Proverbs 24:10. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. All right, and we don't want our strength to be small. We want to be built up in the faith and the wisdom of the Lord. First of all, so we don't do no dumb shit like this, like that. All right. This is I'm gonna grab this last precept and then I'll close out. This is gonna be 1 Corinthians 9. I think this is what I want. Yep, 9. I'll read 24. But you see how, I got exposed. I'm out the truth. You don't care about Israelites, right? Well, really, what you're saying is that you don't care about Yahweh Shema Shai, and you don't care about his flock, because the Lord said, as the elder Menat the Zakba brought out, Yahweh Shai told Peter, feed my sheep 3 times. If you love me, feed my sheep. He don't. So by not doing his work, and this is a testament to all the all the brothers. This goes for all the, when you don't do the work of Yahweh Shema Shai, you're showing them how much you love them. Speaking of myself first and foremost, as I haven't been the most diligent at times, and as I'm working on my salvation, Lord willing, I exalt other brothers to do so themselves, because every brother got a different path, and it's not that, even though we walk that straight gate, that position of difficulty, it's not the same path for every brother. It don't look the same, but we just have the same vision of keeping our eyes single and getting to that final destination, which would be the kingdom. So this is 1 Corinthians 9:24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run, all but one receiveth the prize. So run that ye may obtain. Yeah, we want to get to the finish line. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. No, they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, riches on this side, so on and so forth. Money, things that don't profit your salvation to, and your spiritual growth to receive salvation or find favor in the sight of Yahweh Shem Shai. But we in an incorruptible, that everlasting kingdom. All right, the riches stored in heaven that can only be given by Yahweh Shem Shai. It says, I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. So run with a purpose. Walk in Yahweh Shem Shai's stead with a purpose. All right, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. That's the one thing we got to learn to do and continue to fight that flesh. Keep it under the subjection of the spirit. All right, because that's the only thing that can defeat it. Lest that by any means, when I preach to others, I myself should be a castaway. So you got to take it to yourselves. As Apostle Tahar said, I believe that was I remember him saying that one of the high priest elders, I believe it might have even been King Mashah, used to tell him, take that and apply it to yourself. All right, and that's what we have to do. We have to apply this wisdom to ourselves first and foremost, and teach the others, so we don't be those castaways to Yahweh Shem Shai. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachakodash. Until the next time, Shalom.